Dr. Seuss over there is living in fantasy world. What the Liberal government really should be focused on is the price of corruption. Like $15 billion going to Liberal insiders on cushy contracts, thousands of dollars going to ministers' besties, and thousands going to racists like Laith Maruth. Random Liberals like Bill No More and Mark Carney also agree they overspent and pile-drove Canadians with inflation. Will they finally take some damn responsibility, rein in their spending, and axe their failed carbon tax?
The Honourable Minister for Families.
You know, Mr. Speaker, I actually read Dr. Seuss quite a bit with my son at night, and he has some pretty good lessons that I think the Conservatives could learn if they wanted to open up his book.
Many lessons.
In fact, you know, one of those lessons is actually about protecting our environment. When he talks about the truffula trees, it's about protecting what we have, the clean air, the clean water, making sure that we protect that for generations to come. If my opposition colleague would like to learn more, I invite him to open the books. He might have more compassionate policies for Canadians. Thank you.
The Honourable Member for Sarnia-Lambton.
Let's skip with the fantasy. Mr. Speaker, I'm a numbers girl, so here's the numbers. 8 long years under this Prime Minister, 40-year highs in inflation, food prices 10% up, and they're going to triple the carbon tax. You know what that adds up to? 67. That's the percent of people that think Canada is broken. So will this Prime Minister take responsibility for breaking the country, or will he get out of the way and let us fix it?
Yeah. My son, like tens of thousands of our kids across this country, loves to play hockey, and what he loves above all is to be able to play it outside. Well, because of climate change in this hockey-playing country, it's becoming less and less possible to do so. This year, for the first time in 51 years, the Rideau Canal is still not open and probably won't be able to open. And what is the response from the Conservative Party of Canada? Make pollution free again, Mr. Speaker. Well, no reckless policies from this reckless party on this side of the House, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Member for Sarnia-Lambton.
They've never met a single one of their emissions targets. They don't have an environment plan. They have a tax plan. And you know what, Mr. Speaker? His answer is no help at all to John in my riding. John is struggling with the rising cost of gas, groceries, and home heating. At 74 years old, on a fixed income, he's had to go back to work. And so, really, will the Prime Minister axe the tax so John can keep the heat on?
The Honourable Minister for Natural Resources.
Speaker, less than 2 years ago, the Conservative Party took the position that climate change wasn't even real. Then last year, the leadership went through a process where they actually put together a climate plan, the centerpiece of which was a price on pollution. All of the Conservative members in this House were elected on a platform that included a price on pollution. Now, once again, under a new leader, they've stopped talking about climate change and they attack the idea of pollution pricing. Mr. Speaker, given their history, how can Canadians believe anything they say?
After 8 years of this Liberal Prime Minister, Canadians are struggling, but their Liberal friends at McKinsey have never had it so good. Now, McKinsey worked for ICE in the United States, where they advised the Trump administration to cut food and medical supplies for immigrant detainees. These are the same people that the Liberals then turned to for advice on immigration, even when the public service said that they could do the work themselves. So will the Prime Minister take responsibility for bringing McKinsey into our immigration system, or will he step aside so that we can fix what he broke?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the member across is an honourable member. He's been in this House for some period of time. He would know that the contracts engaged in by the public service are not to have political interference. And his suggestion just a moment ago that his government would influence the decision of that contract is extremely concerning. Right. The reality has been clearly identified in committee that this process is independent, that contracts are used to expand the ability of the public service to do its job, so that it doesn't permanently increase the staffing that is there. That allows flexibility to be in the system, Mr. Speaker.